Hey fam, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. All right, y'all, guess who is back in jail? That's right, R. Kelly. He is in the Cook County Jail as we speak, turning himself in today because, he owes some back child support, about $160,000. Yeah, 160 grand. That's what he actually owes his wife for their children. So, Polly R. Kelly. Now, of course, he had an interview yesterday with Gayle King, though. But right now, though, I want to play for you. This is R. Kelly's publicist, Daryl Johnson, speaking outside of court. Do you see my iPad, Henry? If so, I want you to go ahead. So here we go. This is Daryl Johnson, R. Kelly's publicist, talking about him being back in jail.
Yeah, he had back pay of $161,037, and we were coming expecting that he was going to come and make an arrangement, but they wanted the entire amount.
So what happened?
Where is he right now?
What happened after that?
Well, the reason he can't pay, as you know, he hadn't worked in a long time. He can't book shows. He can't do anything. There's been a lot of things going on in Mr. Kelly's life, lawsuits, all the things that are happening, and he just didn't have the money, and so he didn't have $161,000. So we tried to work some things out. It didn't work out, and hopefully we'll get him out by Wednesday of next week.
Can you talk about his state of mind right now? How he's feeling about this right now?
Well, he came here expecting to leave. That's what he came to expect to leave. He didn't come here to go to jail.
Wednesday of next week,
Wait, finish that.
He came here in good spirit, expecting to walk out. He came here to make some arrangements for what he had. I think it was $50,000 or $60,000 that he was willing to pay. And in the end, nobody wins. The kids still don't have any money. So at the end of the day, he's locked up. Andrea and her kids, they still don't have anything.
Speak about his mood as soon as he found out he was going back to jail.
Depressed, deflated,
Okay.
upset.
Let me help y'all out with something. First of all, that video from the Chicago Sun-Times. If the court tells you you got to pay $161,000 by a certain date, that means that your opportunity to negotiate a payment plan has passed, which means that you should have actually done that several months ago. So I'm gonna put $50,000-$60,000 down on it, and I'm left with $110,000. That ain't quite how the court system works. I don't know many courts you can go to in the country. They go, how much can I put down on it? And the court gonna say, all of it. And so to think that you were gonna roll up to the Cook County courthouse and put down 50 or 60 grand when you owe 161,000, dog, you done lost your mind. Okay, Scott Bolden, I wasn't supposed to introduce the panel right now, but his ass want to talk so bad. So Scott Bolden, attorney, go ahead, Scott, what you want?
I just want to correct you on something.
Go ahead.
The negotiation, you're right, should have been done a long time ago.
Probably was done. He ignored it.
But you, without negotiation on the phone by your lawyer to get assurances that they're going to take the 50 or 60, you should do that before you go down.
Okay, here's the
not
problem.
After you go down.
Here's the problem. The court told his ass 2 weeks ago, pay this amount by this date.
Or you going to jail.
Right. They didn't say, come up with a little something on it that you go back home. So he was stupid showing up to the jailhouse, to the courthouse, thinking I can put 50, 60,000 and I'm gonna go back to the crib.
And they took the 50 or 60 grand too. So
they took
kids
it.
do have something.
Right. So now his team got a week to come up with another 100,000. So maybe they're gonna call that woman with the daycare center who bailed him out last time. Now, of course, this came a day after R. Kelly sat down with Gayle King of CBS this morning in a quite strange interview. Now, they did not run the whole interview this morning on CBS this morning. CBS plans on doing an R. Kelly special Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, to play more of the interview. That's called Milk That Sucker for ratings. So here, if you missed it, here is some of Gayle King's quite riveting interview.
Riveting.
Robert
Wow.
Kelly. Check it out.
It's riveting on it.
That you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
How stupid would it be for R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way, way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. Why, how stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you were holding...
That's stupid, guys.
I didn't...
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, oh, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle.
Robert,
Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. Y'all, I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're going to let the camera keep rolling.
This is not true. This is not, doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
But Kelly's emotions remained raw.
It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted, being raped, okay? They really are on chains. They really do have chains on their wrists, and they can't get out.
Robert,
and they're ending up buried in deep.
Robert, we have to have a conversation.
This is
really.
not me.
I don't want you just ranting at the camera.
I came here for them to hear me talk.
But
I need help.
What kind of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Yes, what kind of help?
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart. Because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
You sound like you're playing the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly, you do. When I listen to you, it does sound like you're playing the victim
I'm just telling the truth. And the reason I'm emotional,
Robert,
and I apologize for that, is because this is the first time I was able to say
speak.
something. Yeah. I've said nothing.
What's up? Good seeing you.
Did y'all see that crazy ass interview? Woo! It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot to unpack there. First of all, Gayle King was very calm as R. Kelly was losing his mind. So anyway, let's get to it. Of course, again, Scott Bolton, former chair, National Bar Association, PAC. We got Lauren Victoria Burke, who's also communications director for Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax of Virginia. We got Schmeichel Singleton, contributing host. Consider it on Vox Media. Here's the first thing. Who in their right mind would say, go do an interview?
Yeah, see, interview prep obviously is really important to say.
No, not interview prep.
He shouldn't have done it anyway.
How about
shouldn't have done it.
No interview.
But the fact that he obviously is facing criminal charges would mean that not having an interview would probably be a really good idea.
Because every statement you give in the interview
can be used in court.
Two things. Used in court, but also you still have a jury that gets picked. And so every action you take has an impact on your case, Scott.
Maybe, but let me tell you.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Probably.
Well,
hell yes.
But what I'm really getting at is this issue of whether you should have done the interview or not. Okay, so when you get a client like him, you do your investigation, and you should, and you don't let him do an interview until you're convinced of the investigation is complete and you know exactly kind of where you're going to be. It isn't like he's doing a legal interview with the feds. Secondly, you got to prep him to be under control, and also what's his demeanor going to be like. And so you dry run him 2 or 3 times, right? And then you let him go. And then you sit with him in the interview. You don't let him do that interview by himself with Gayle. And then after all of that, then you release that, and the reason you release that is because back in the day, it was be quiet and try it in court. Now, in the times of social media and messaging and 2019, I think in a lot of cases, defendants, high-profile cases, defendants, they've got to get their story out. Otherwise, the story is going to be told for them.
Exactly.
And so as a legal, hold on, as a legal advisor, as a lawyer for a number of high-profile clients, I now very often consider them speaking directly to the media through social media or the public if they're ready and if they're well-pressed.
The problem is if you don't talk, everybody thinks you're guilty.
Exactly.
And so what you just said is exactly right. We don't live in the 1950s and 40s. Right. And now we have attorneys on the other side who want to put stuff out there, right? And if you don't react to it, the playing field is clear for them.
But, Michael, here's the difference.
Here's
the difference. First of all, you don't have the Cook County State's Attorney putting stuff out. That's one.
Right.
What you also
have them leaking it.
One second.
The feds on
don't leak stuff. This is not feds. This is Cook County.
They leak.
It's Cook County.
They'll leak.
But here's the other issue that, first of all, they've already laid the proffer out. Here's the other thing that you have with R. Kelly that's different. He's done horrible interviews in the past.
Right. This is the first time.
And if you heard how when Gayle King asked the question, he never said.
Never answered.
He was like, it's wrong. I mean, right.
You can't double jeopardy me, is what he said.
No, R. Kelly, it's not double jeopardy.
Right.
When you were charged with child pornography in that case, and they've now filed different charges against you, that's not double jeopardy.
Well, remember the interview with Torrey?
And he is.
And BET
he is also
was
illiterate. He can't read.
Well, right, he can't read. But the difference is, and I agree with Scott that when you do have high-profile clients, depending on the dynamics, it is great to try to argue it in the public circle, if you will. But the difference with R. Kelly, Roland, is that we're in the midst of Me Too now. This is a very different dynamic. That documentary came out, and it was extremely damaging to R. Kelly. This isn't. Well, wait a minute, but this isn't a new thing with him. So there are decades, 2 decades at least, of history of women coming out saying this has occurred, or we know leaks have gone out from folks who worked with Kelly. So I don't think he should have done the interview at all, and he shouldn't do any more interviews going forward.
You also need to be able, even in interviews, control your emotions.
Right.
Of course. Right. And when you lose it to that degree, anything that you thought you could have achieved that was positive, you sitting there like, oh, Lord, this fool in here.
Everybody watched that interview, Scott, and they said he's guilty. They saw his behavior and said he's guilty.
You're talking about 2 different things. You're talking about whether he should have done the interview, and that's one strategy. But now, the interview itself was horrible, and you're absolutely right about that.
Which is why you don't
do the interview.
You don't trust him to do a great interview, and you're right. He's done bad interviews.
You bring it together.
Bring a straitjacket with you.
3 of y'all lawyers. Do you trust him doing the interview?
No.
Lauren, do you trust him doing the interview?
The question is if he can hold himself together, which he can't.
No, we're not talking hypothetical.
If you prep him
do you actually think R. Kelly can hold himself together?
If a person can hold themselves together, the answer would be yes. Things are tried in the court of public opinion.
Lauren.
That's the fact.
Lauren, based upon what we know about R. Kelly.
But what do you... People want to hear from him.
Right.
Okay.
But they want to hear from him. They don't want to hear that from him.
I mean, for him it's a no.
Roland, let's say R. Kelly could have been well prepped to give a great interview.
Right.
My next question would have been, what are you going to possibly accomplish? What can he say? What can he say?
The public will hear him deny it. And you
come on, Scott. Deny what? That he didn't do it?
You don't know how powerful a denial is to a jury. And he's
Scott, nobody believes this guy didn't do it.
It doesn't matter. He's still in every trial I've tried, every case I've tried. The jury, no matter how overwhelming the evidence is, right? He's talking to a potential jury pool, and they want to hear him deny it. Now they may still.
Let me tell y'all something.
Don't get me wrong, but it was important for them to hear the denial.
Let me tell y'all
something. It's true or not.
All that stuff Scott's saying right now. All that stuff Scott's saying right now is absolutely irrelevant.
I don't agree with it.
But I've tried 100 cases.
1 second.
No, Scott,
you can try. Hold up.
This is a different.
Roland. Here's my question. Here's my question, Roland. How could it get worse?
Oh,
he got nothing.
How can it get worse?
No.
He's got nothing to lose.
No.
More women.
No, wait.
More tapes.
No. I will take you back to the previous case. The previous case, in terms of that particular tape. They thought they were going to be found guilty. He got off.
Right.
The deal is, you don't add anything new to it. when you talk about the interview he did with Teray when he was asked the question, sleeping with underage girls, and was like, how old?
Right.
If you go back and listen to
fair question.
But you go back and listen
and
to
the Aisha interview.
If you go back and listen to the first question of Gayle King, which was sort of like, have you slept with underage girls? I got a past. And why you bringing my past up? I'm going, bruh, that ain't quite the answer.
Right.
I mean,
Yes
he literally,
no.
I heard the first minute, I said,
That's the prep part.
I said, did he just, Scott, you can talk prep all you want to.
So, Prep, would he have lied, Scott?
You're dealing with a guy who is also illiterate.
What are you saying?
He can't read.
It's not illegal to lie in a media interview.
But could it not be used
The
against
only
him in a court
plus
of law?
side was for him doing the interview was to do a public denial and to hear it for himself.
He
All
never
right.
denied anything,
Nothing
Scott.
else. Well, he should have.
Gee,
He would have been prepped.
I got it. Here's the whole deal, y'all.
Denied himself in
Your
a
next interview, get prepped.
Right now,
That was-
that's Scott talking his lawyer talk.
That was a disaster.
I'm going to talk
ladies and gentlemen.
common
That's
sense.
real talk.
He looked like a damn fool doing the interview.
He did, but he wasn't
I'm
prepped.
telling you right now, y'all. I'm telling you right now. Kales, if you get out from the child support deal, you better go to McDonald's as much as you can, because I'm telling you right now.
Who's his attorney?
You're going to prison. All right, y'all. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, of course, a lot of people are getting ready, of course, in 2019 to improve their look. A lot of people are getting ready for beach season. You'll never see Scott in his Speedos. And, of course, all about golf season as well. And so, again, that's my whole deal. So one of the reasons why I participated in the Dherbs full body cleanse, 20 days. No, just fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and water. Oh, my goodness. But it also, again, changes your mindset in terms of how you approach food as well. And so there are 27 different cleanses you can be involved in. And so all you got to do is pick which one you want. So what you should do is go to Dherbs.com. Dherbs.com and use the promo code Roland upon checkout. It's 18664 Dherbs and use the promo code Roland upon checkout. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.